What up, people? It's your boy Tony Baker here with another new show called Gross Pointe Bake. Now, you may or may not know I am obsessed with box office grosses, album sales, Nielsen TV show ratings, all that. I'm a numbers guru when it comes to what movies are making what albums sold which, and all that. So this show is all about the numbers. Who's putting butts in the seats? No opinions here. I'm gonna throw in my opinions about each thing, but I'm gonna rank everything by the numbers. Who's really putting butts in the seats, man? We out here. And so this episode, the first episode, I want to know who the king of the slashers is, domestically speaking, at the box office. Which horror movie slasher is putting the most butts in these seats? All right? When I do these lists about box office grosses, I'm talking domestic. So don't be fact checking me and being like, actually, because they're going to show you the worldwide gross. Yes, I could do the worldwide, but I'm keeping it domestic. All right? So don't hit me with the actually when you Google it and it's going to give you the worldwide gross off the top. I'm talking domestic here in America. Who's the king of the slashers? Number 10, Pinhead from Hellraiser. Pinhead is coming in at number 10 with $48 million between 4 movies. Pinhead hit the scene in like 1987, and for me, Pinhead has one of the best looks in the game. Out of all the slashers, he got a dope look. It looks uncomfortable. Like if you trip and fall as Pinhead, it's gonna be a problem. I don't know how Pinhead goes to sleep. Like I don't know how he's laying in the bed. You know how ladies, when you get your hair done and you do the prop up because you just got your hair done, so you kind of sleep like this. He can't even do this. He can't even do the romantic comedy face in the palm. I don't know how he sleep. He got to sleep at a cubicle sitting straight up because one false lay down, you pushing them pins in. Hellraiser movies do not make a lot of money, so Pinhead is easily coming in last place, $48 million. The Hellraiser movies never did it for me because it was just gross. It was just gross, man. I was just like grossed out by all the pain and like all the suffering and pulling skin back and peeling it and hanging people on hooks. I was like, man, I'm watching the whole Hellraiser franchise just like, come on, man, my face. I couldn't even give a regular face. It was gross. Pinhead, you're gross, and you're not grossing that much money at the box office. You are last on the slasher list, buddy. Coming in at number 9, Norman Bates with $78.4 million at the box office between 3 films, theatrically. Norman Bates' Psycho changed the game. Psycho came in and changed how movies were shot. Alfred Hitchcock was in his bag, and this movie still has one of the best twist endings of all time. The shower scene is iconic. He really kicked it off for the slashers. The first Psycho grossed $32 million in 1960 money. That's like $390 million in today's money. That's how Psycho came out the gate. Everybody was going to see Psycho. And of course, he had 2 sequels. The sequels didn't do as good as the first because the first one was so iconic. But Norman Bates came through with the twist ending, and he was crazy with it. The shower scene, the music, the visual, the holding on to the curtain, the falling down, the spinning eyeball shot, which leads into the blood and the water going into the drain. Hitchcock was in his bag. Low key, arguably, probably the most famous and iconic Alfred Hitchcock movie. So Norman Bates is coming in at number 9 with a total gross of $78.4 million. Now, mind you, I'm going to give you a separate list that's adjusted for inflation because we got to be fair. We got to inflate, all right? Because this movie came out in 1960. $32 million is a different look than $32 million today. So I'm going to give you the inflated list as well. But right now, Norman Bates, number 9, $78.4 million at the box office. Coming in at number 8, Candyman. Candyman Country. Candyman, the sole black man on this slasher list, man. Candyman hit the streets in 1992. He was set in Chicago. He only had 3 films. He had the original Candyman, Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, and then they did a reboot kind of sequel joint this past year with Candyman, produced by Jordan Peele. Candyman's box office gross is $100 million between 3 films. The first Candyman, directed by Clive Barker, who also did Hellraiser, was creepy as hell. Now, I'm looking at this guy differently. He's hitting home now. He's in the city I'm familiar with. Now he's in the urban setup. So now I'm scared for real. Out of all the slashers on this list, Candyman scares me the most because he looks familiar to me. He looks like people I saw in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, black. You know what I'm saying? He got the coat on. I'm just like, yo, man, this dude's scary, man. I know people that look like him. His voice was all deep and creepy and just... But you had to call him. But still, I was just like, yo, this movie is scary as hell. Candyman sat with me after I left the theater. That's when you know you did a good job as a slasher. If you sit with me after I leave the theater. Candyman was sitting with me. I ain't even look at the medicine cabinet. I kept my medicine cabinet open, man. I ain't closed that medicine cabinet. I ain't closed that medicine cabinet. Because then I was thinking like, yo, what if Candyman counts it as you calling his name if you said the word candy 3 times? What if you said the word candy 3 times and man 3 times? What if he counted that as one word together as his name? What if Candyman popped up and was like, no, Candyman, I ain't even call you. Yeah, you said candy like 7 times last week. And then you said man, like you say man all the time when you talk. So I thought you was calling me. So yeah, I'm going to hook you. I'm going to hook you, Tony Baker. So I kept my medicine cabinet open. You understand me? Candyman, number 8, $100 million at the box office. Number 7, Chucky, Charles Lee Ray. Number 7, $153 million at the box office. Chucky hit the scene in about 87, 88. He came out the movie Child's Play. With the summer that Child's Play came out on video, we watched that over and over again. Also set and filmed in Chicago, by the way. Chucky was dope because he was just gritty. Chucky had this like gritty voice matched against this little childlike looking doll. Even when he got evil, he was cussing you out when he killed you. He was like, oh, you filthy bitch. He was like going in. And I was just like, yo, when Chucky revealed himself right before she was about to throw him in the fire, how could you be mad at Chucky in that moment? She started the fire, held him over, and like, I'm going to throw you in this fire. Of course you're going to be called a filthy bitch. Of course. Chucky had no point but to go off. The Child's Play movies were a good time. I've never really been scared of Chucky because I feel like I can handle a doll. You know what I'm saying? The scariest doll to me of all time was the Trilogy of Terror voodoo doll. That doll in that movie scared the shit out of me to this day. But Chucky never really scared me like that. But Chucky was getting busy, and I like Chucky. Once I saw the first 3 Child's Play movies, but once it was like The Bride of Chucky and The Seed of Chucky, I lost interest. Like I didn't really want to see Chucky as a family man. I didn't want to see Chucky dating. I just wasn't interested in that part of his life. You know what I'm saying? I respect what you're doing as a killer doll and everything, but I'm not interested in your dating life, bro. Like, I'm not interested in your girl, you know what I'm saying? And then you having a kid, I ain't interested in how you raising the kids. I'm not going to have you on daddy issues, man. I'm not going to bring you to the podcast and we talking about fatherhood. I'm just not interested in your life like that, Chucky. But Chucky was out here doing his thing. $153 million at the domestic box office between 5 films. Not a bad run, Chucky. I see you. Number 6, Leatherface. Leatherface with $194.4 million at the box office. Leatherface hit the scene in the early 70s. Texas Chainsaw Massacre hit the world by storm. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, let me highlight this, came out in 1974, made $26.5 million. That's $157 million in today's money. So that movie came out with a vengeance. You know, once you do a successful horror movie, you got to do the sequels. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 came out in 86. They waited a long ass time, only made $8 million. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation is interesting on this list because it only made $94,000 at the box office. You heard that right. Texas Chainsaw, The Next Generation, came out in 95, made $94,000. A lot of us have made $94,000 in our lifetime. That ain't shit for an actual theatrical release. That's probably the lowest. Out of all these movies on this list, by all these slasher icons, nobody has grossed that little. But Texas Chainsaw, when Michael Bay came in and started producing the reboot, the box office grosses went up, and Leatherface was back in his bag. Leatherface never really scared me like that either. You know what I'm saying? Just a crazy dude with a chainsaw, and he's got like old, dead human skin on his face. It was sort of based on a true story, but it really wasn't. It was just based on the guy that would go to the cemetery and dig up bodies and take the skin off and wear the skin. Creepy nonetheless, but you know what I'm saying? Leatherface had that crazy family going on. And when I watched the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that movie represented how it feels like to be an animal. You know, animals are led in and they get hit over the head and then slaughtered and cut up, and then they get hung on hooks and they get held over a barrel and like hit over the head. This is what animals have to go through. And I feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the representation of what animals have to go through with human beings. And to us, to the animals, we look like Leatherface out here. Imagine how scary we look luring a cow in and then hitting you over the head, slaughtering you up. That's what Leatherface was on, man. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, number 6, $194 million. And Leatherface never really scared me like that because he was a big guy and he looked slow. I feel like I could outrun Leatherface. And it's really hard to maneuver a chainsaw accurately. So I feel like I can escape from that guy. That's just me personally. Number 5, Freddy Krueger. $361 million at the domestic box office. Freddy Krueger is damn near everybody's favorite, almost. You know what I'm saying? Freddy Krueger is bringing the fun. Freddy Krueger is bringing that personality. He's got jokes. He's got imagination. He's going to give you the wild visuals. You know what I'm saying? He out here with his little striped sweater, his hat, his pants, and his shoes. He had like a dope visual look. You know what I'm saying? Freddy Krueger all burnt up. He had the glove with the knives on it. He had a dope visual. Like when they created Freddy Krueger, they were in their creative bag, and it's so easy to dress as Freddy for Halloween and just get the glove or whatever. And so I feel like they created a real dope slasher. If these slashers existed in reality, Freddy would be the scariest one to me. With Jason, you got to go out to the lake. You got to find him. You know, with Pinhead, you got to be dealing with the Rubik's Cube to lead to hell. You got to be playing with that. For Candyman, you got to say his name. For Chucky, you just not going to have dolls laying around like that. So if Chucky was in your vicinity, you going to see him. He going to stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? Leatherface, you just got to be in the middle of nowhere in Texas to run into Leatherface. It's not like he was like in the community. You have to come to Leatherface. But Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street, you have to go to sleep. You got to get some shut-eye. You got to go to bed. Sleep is going to come for your ass eventually. No matter what you doing. You could be sitting up, you could be typing, you could be driving, you could be walking. You going to fall asleep. And Freddy going to be right there waiting on that ass. And Freddy is out here with a bunch of pictures. He came out with a bunch of sequels back to back. That first Nightmare on Elm Street hit, so they was like, yo, we got to keep this going. Freddy Krueger, $361 million at the box office, and that's going between how many films? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 films for Freddy. So Freddy is sitting at number 5, and one of those films he shared with the number 4 slasher on this list, Jason Voorhees, number 4, $382 million at the box office. $382.7 million at the box office. Jason Voorhees. Now, I included the first Friday the 13th, even though technically he wasn't the killer in the first one. He does appear in the first Friday the 13th. Nice plot twist on that. Jason has the most films out of any slasher. Jason Voorhees is out here with his hockey mask. He out here doing it. And Arguably, the actual Jason Voorhees is not in all of Friday the 13th. So there have been a couple instances where somebody else was just wearing the hockey mask, but still, it still counts as Jason because you showed up for the killer in the hockey mask, and that's all Jason's brand. Jason really never scared me like that because, for one, I'm not camping. I grew up in Chicago. I was a city kid. I'm not going camping. I'm not going to the lake, all right? Even if you invited me to the lake, Jason is out there making the noise. I'm not going. Jason was out here. He wasn't running you down. He was just rolling up, killing you hard. And you better not be having sex. You better not be out here smashing because Jason gonna roll it. Jason be hating, man. Let people smash. Let people get the nut off first, man. At least let everybody get the nut off and then come in with the, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. I get Jason's beef. He mad at y'all because y'all out here fornicating and frolicking, not paying attention, and these kids is drowning. I get it. Jason drowned. He got a bone to pick. You know what I'm saying? He had a full life he could have been living. Y'all out here frolicking, smashing, doing all this stuff. I'm out here drowning. Of course I'm coming back from the grave, and I'm killing y'all. I'm going to slam you up against a tree while you in the sleeping bag. Jason got some cold kills, but he also has the most sequels. And he shared a film with Freddy Krueger. They came together and did Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason made $82.6 million at the box office. So they came together and made that money because solo, they started dwindling down because they were making so many sequels, people stopped showing up. So they was like, yo, let's come together and get the box office up. And they did just that right before they both got rebooted to mixed results. All right. Number 3, Scream, Ghostface. $413.3 million at the box office. Scream came out the gate. It was a hit. Made over $100 million. It turned the slasher genre on its head. Killed Drew Barrymore in the very beginning, which is something nobody expected. It was just like, yo, if Drew Barrymore died, the biggest star in the movie is going to die this quick. Anything can happen. Ghostface was out here doing the damn thing. It was funny. It was exciting. It was fun. It was creepy. Ghostface had that cool looking mask. And the Scream franchise was a hit right out the gate. The sequel made over $100 million, and Scream was just making that money. Scream was just out here. Scream 1 made 103, Scream 2 made 101, Scream 3 made 89, and then Scream 4 made 38. So then they just re-released a new Scream, and it made $81 million at the box office. So Scream is out here with the numbers, and they helped set up the spoof for the Scary Movie movies. So Ghostface is number 3, $413 million at the box office. Number 2, Jigsaw. I want to play a little game. Even though technically he's not a true slasher, he's pretty much setting up these elaborate traps for you to kind of slash yourself in a sense. Jigsaw is still a force to be reckoned with on the scary tip. And once you up in his plan book, I feel sorry for your ass because that trap is not going to be pretty. Even if you survive the trap, you still going to be tore up when you come out of it. And I definitely feel like, you know, Jigsaw is worth mentioning on this list. He is number 2 at the box office, $477.9 million at the box office. The budgets are always low with Saw. The first Saw came out. Nobody saw it coming. Super low budget. You never knew what was going to happen, and it had a fantastic twist ending. It was like, yo, what's going on? I faded out on Saw personally because I was just getting grossed out. I think it was Saw 3 where the girl fell in the syringes. I was done at that point. Once she fell in the pit of syringes, I couldn't handle it anymore. I don't like syringes, and she fell in the pit of them. She had syringes. I was just like, I can't. I was just like, I can't do it. I was just grossed out, and I felt soft, and it was just gross. But Jigsaw is bringing them butts to the seats, though. $477.9 million. And number 1, the number 1 slasher for booty cheeks in the seats. Number 1, you already know who it is because they have not showed up yet. Michael Myers, Wayne's World. Not to be confused with Mike Myers. Michael Bartholomew Myers is number one with $545 million at the box office. Michael is king. He's box office McGee domestically. Number one, Halloween. Halloween came out in 1970, I think 78. Yep, 1978. Halloween made $47.2 million at the box office, which equates to $211 million at the box office. Michael Myers was not in part 3. I didn't include part 3 in the total because Michael Myers literally was not in that movie. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, Halloween H2O, Resurrection, the reboot Halloween with Rob Zombie, Halloween 2 with Rob Zombie, and then the reboot again, we bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis again, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills in 2021. Michael Myers is the guy. He's bringing that box office. He's bringing the kills. Evil dies tonight. You know, you got the townspeople socking him out. Michael Myers, to me, is the second scariest on the list because that mask is scary, man. That little pale William Shatner face. Fun fact, Michael Myers' mask is actually William Shatner's face because it's from a Star Trek mask. And so when they were making the film, they got a Star Trek mask, and it was Captain Kirk, played by William Shatner, and they just changed the color on it, and they made that. So we've been out here scared of William Shatner's face the whole time. Michael Myers be out here killing us in that goddamn jumpsuit. How come he always find a jumpsuit? He always find a jumpsuit, man. Just kill us in the regular outfit, man. Tuck the shirt in, man. Get you a flannel shirt, tuck it in. You know what I'm saying? Get you some khakis, man. Get you a red polo shirt and some khakis. You can still wear the mask. Kill us with that outfit. Why you always got like you a mechanic? Like you a mechanic changing oil out here. You killing us in the jumpsuit, man. You're overcharging us. Come on, man. Just kill us in the regular outfit. Put some shorts on. Put the cookout shoes on. The cookout dress shoes. Or the white Spice Adams sneakers, you know what I'm saying? The Nike joints. Put that on, man. You always find you a mechanic outfit to kill us in, man. What you trying to say? That they price gouging us? I don't know. But Michael Myers is number one, $545 million at the domestic box office. But, like I said earlier, let's inflate. Let's adjust for inflation because it's not fair for films that came out in the 70s and early 80s and even the 60s to be compared to box office grosses of movies that came out today because the money's not going to look the same. So let's flip it and adjust for inflation. Let's see who's really out here bringing the butts in the seats domestically. Number 10, Pinhead, $107 million domestically on the inflated tip. Number 9, Candyman, $146 million from 3 films. Chucky is number 8 with $281 million. Leatherface is number 7 with $406 million. Norman Bates moves all the way up to number 6 with $518 million in inflated domestic box office money. That's a big jump because the first Psycho alone made over $300 million in 1960 money. So Norman Bates, $518 million adjusted for inflation. Jigsaw is number 5 with $624 million. Ghostface is number 4 with $687 million. Freddy is number 3 with $694 million at the box office. Jason is number 2 with $852.7 million at the box office. And still the king, number 1, still, Michael Myers, $920 million at the box office. He's almost at $1 billion gross for the whole Halloween franchise, man. I mean, if you want to include Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, that might take him to $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to include that because he wasn't in it. But you damn near know that people showed up to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, just for Michael Myers, but they got played. So there we have it. Those are the slashers, the top 10 slashers. Michael Myers is king. Let me know who your favorite is in the comment section below. Are you surprised by this list? Did you know Michael Myers was going to be the top earner? Did you expect that? Pound for pound, you know what I'm saying? I made a list for the pound for pound people. I don't know if y'all feel like hearing all that, but because you know some of these slashers had more films than others. Candyman is doing all right pound for pound, but he only had three films, so you know it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, y'all. Michael Myers is the king of the slashers, man. I want to know your favorite in the comment section below. And also in the comment section below, let me know what other kind of genres and film setups and characters y'all want me to dissect on the box office tip, man. Who's the king of the butt cheeks? King of the butt cheeks, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Gross Pointe Bake. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out.